That was ignorant of me. I'm sorry for everyone. That was so ignorant. I apologize profusely for that. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to our first ever playoff edition. Kyle's cracking a beer because he got nothing else to live for.
What else I got to do?
Welcome to this week's Walking 90 episode. This is your host, as always, Elliot Barr, the only guy in the playoffs, and possibly that's it. Joining me, as always, is a lady who is going up to DC to chew on North Carolina carrots because that's the only thing positive going on in Raleigh.
Yeah.
Ev, what's going on, Ev?
Not much, just vibe watching, you know.
That's all you do. And also joining me is a guy that just found out that he has to search for a head coach for the second time in 2 years in a row. Mr. Kyle Carr. How are you doing, buddy?
I mean, it'd be like that sometimes.
I mean, shoot, let's be real. For the third time in 3 years, the loser of the Henry Derby has not only been fired, the team has been worse off.
I'm just saying, losing the Henry Derby has consequences.
It has to be, dog. It's a poison challenge at this point. That trophy has literally taken 3 jobs.
I said before the fourth match, the fourth and final one, because someone asked, "Oh, is Kyle going to want like Carl Craig fired if he loses?" And I said, all I'm going to say is, if you lose the Henry Derby, they don't end up being the coach the following season. I don't know if I was being serious when I said that, but when I said that, that was before the match. So after Forward Madison had lost, the writing was on the wall.
Yeah, kind of was.
I mean, that was right when they weren't eliminated officially, but that was
they were eliminated.
They were eliminated. Yeah.
I mean, my coach is staying, and
in all honesty, y'all, I really thought y'all would have gave Craig a second year.
Why?
I thought y'all would have been like, because y'all gave Short 2. I thought y'all would have gave Craig 2. It just been like, all right, like for it to have gone wrong after year 1, I think it had to be a combination of like backroom staff that was going wrong and him in the front office just won't vibing.
I mean, Carl is a great person. I wish him the best in his future. It sucks to see someone lose a job. With that said, the team did underachieve. They finished 9th place. And were it not for winning 2 of their last 3 matches, we're closer to the bottom than they were to a playoff spot. And for a team that I would say nearly everyone was expecting to be a playoff team, it's going to happen that way. And that it's unfortunate the team underachieved, and you know, you can point and say, well, if they made the playoffs, then maybe he keeps the job. And that's probably true. But you know, when you look at Forward Madison's season, they won 8 games out of 28. Like, that's just not good enough. They had 12 draws, and 6 of them, they were in winning positions. That's not going to be good enough.
Of course, it wasn't, Chip. You don't expect anything positive out of Forward Madison.
Well, maybe they should win a season series, so let's start there. But anyway, you get to the 6 of the draws are from winning positions, and they end up conceding, and 5 of them were conceded later than the 75th minute. And even if you want to take out the Fort Lauderdale refereeing shambolicness that somehow in a 1-0 game, there's 8 minutes of stoppage time with no injury, and Fort Lauderdale scores in the 100th minute, that's still 8 points that you blew. And those 8 points is the difference between finishing 9th and finishing 3rd.
I mean, it honestly looked like you lost he lost your entire locker room top down. So
well, and it's one of those where it's weird that because the team that we saw at the beginning of the season, the team that we saw at the end of the season, they gave a shit. They were battling. They looked like we're going to give a shit. And in the summer, especially like August and September, that team was nowhere to be found. So I don't fully know. Again, it's unfortunate. Maybe if they had made the playoffs, they would have given it another year. But I think the front office just kind of looked and thought, did we underachieve? And do we expect things to turn around next year with the same person? And I think they just decided they did underachieve, and they did it. And I don't think they were expecting things to get drastically better. So it is unfortunate. And like I said, Carl's a good guy. It sucks. We all wish it would have worked out.
So, okay. So, what were you about to say?
I didn't say anything. Did I?
Oh, I thought you were about to say something. No, I thought you were about to say something. My bad. So, I mean, Kyle, where does Forward Madison go from here? Like, I mean, what's the next direction of the club?
That I think that's also the big question is who is going to come in that has a plan, an identity, and can convey that message well enough. Because the thing with Daryl Shore was, even if the play wasn't the most attractive to watch, you knew what was there. You knew the type of team you were going up against. You knew what the tactical plan was. It wasn't the most appealing to watch, and especially in 2020, it just became hard to watch, but you knew what it was. So I think that's going to be the big first step. And then, honestly, I mean, the club's going to have to make a decision quickly because contracts are expiring. So I'm sure they're going to want to get a coach to come in, look at the roster. And for most of these guys, I don't know who's coming back. The only one I feel pretty confident coming back is Aaron Malloy. So I think that's going to be the next thing, is finding a coach that has an identity, has a plan. I know they probably want a team that could be attacking and exciting to watch, but at the same time, they need to have an identity and compete. And that's going to be the big thing, competing. You're not going to win the title every year, but you need to get back to, at minimum, being a playoff team, like I said, competing with all the other independent teams that were ahead of you.
Yeah. Do you see with a new head coach, do you see Forward Madison changing their style of play? Because over the years, you guys have been this defensive stout team, or, hard to play against, getting 1-0 draws. Like, the style of play hasn't matched, which I do off the field, and that's no shot intended. But do you see Forward Madison being like, all right, we want to get an attacking thinking coach?
I think they would want that. I think they do want that because, yes, for all the jokes and barbs and things people say, like, Forward Madison wants to be a proper team, a team that does go out and attack, and a team that does try and have an attractive style and entertaining style of play. They don't want to be this team that is a fashion team that so happens to play soccer. They want to be a soccer team that also can have dope merch. Like, that's what they want to do. So yeah, I would expect them to try and find someone that would incorporate that attacking style. Whether that happens, I don't know. But again, even if it's more of a defensive mentality, if the results come, I mean, the front office will be fine with it. I think they would want to be attacking, but I think they also want someone that has a plan and has an identity, this is what we're going to do, and these are the type of players that I need.
All right, well, guys, you heard it here first. Forward Madison is up for a new head coach, so when I apply, I'm pretty sure they'll look at you. But let's go ahead. Let's talk about this last week's results. Playoff application was on the line. This week, my heart went from dead to oh snap to yes and to not caring by 12 o'clock on Saturday.
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't care. I was emotionally dead after 11.
Damn.
I mean, you had already gotten off the emotional high come like 4 p.m. You were already good. You were just like, whatever. You were just going to just kick it and hope for the best.
Yeah, that's it. We'll talk more about that, my thoughts about it when we get to it. But to start off, Friday, Toronto FC, Revs 2. What were your thoughts about this game, guys? Because my personally was Revs looked like they let the moment get to them. TFC 2 took control of this game, and Revs 2 were just stuck in neutral the entire time.
They looked like a team that couldn't cope with the pressure that came with. You needed, at the very least, to draw to stay alive. Yeah. A loss would have knocked them out, and they looked overwhelmed by the pressure. They looked like a team that was not prepared to play, and they looked like a team that was they couldn't get their chances early on and looked rattled the rest of the match. And I think they were also probably affected by the wind because that wind was ridiculous. But
I was surprised that game was as good as it was, honestly.
I mean, it was an entertaining match to watch, but I think I think the pressure got to them.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Because Revs just look like, I don't know, ever since that PK miss against North Texas, I think that was around like the 60th minute. The last, I want to say 120 minutes of football for Revs have been abysmal. And they look shell-shocked. They look like they had no backup plan. You know, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm kind of disappointed in how their head coach handled the last 120 minutes of football for him, because you know how good of a coach he's been. I expected better from Revs in these moments, you know?
Yeah.
Why? Like,
well, because of the fact of how dominant they've been in certain situations. Like the Toronto game was a game set up for them to win. They've won those kind of games where it's been just muddy in the midfield, and no team really took care of possession. Like they've won those kinds of games. The North Texas game, you're up a man and you have a PK kick. You can go up 2-1, and it just looked like they lost their heads, and it looked like everybody panicked. You know?
And they looked like a team that was likely to get a playoff spot, if not a home playoff game. Like they were on track because they got the win against Richmond in mid-September. Then they beat Chattanooga on the road, and then they win at home against Madison. And you're thinking, okay, this looks like a playoff team. Then they lose to Toronto on the road. Then they beat Madison at home, but then they lose Greenville. The North Texas game happened, and then the TFC2 game happened. Like this was a team that at one point in mid-September looked like they were making the playoffs, and they just fell apart. And that North Texas game, I think, is going to be the one where they're going to look back and be like, how did we let that happen?
So I guess my real question is for Revs too. How much of the back and forth between players going up and down mess with their cohesion at the end of the season?
I don't even know how many players were going up and down. I think mainly their roster was set. I just really think it was no.
They had a few, like Kiza. Yeah. I think Kiza was like the main one that kept bouncing back and forth, but
even then, even if it's just one player.
No.
One player could disrupt that much. It's just a matter of how much. But also they had strikers going up and down as well. Like the Revs don't make that type of run like that they did and run away with the Shield without having those fresh bodies coming in and out every week.
That is true. That's true. And I mean, also, real quick, best wishes to Joe Rice, because on that final play where he got the red card, he looked like I don't know if he broke his wrist or what, but it didn't look good. Like he didn't even look back for the card. He just ran holding his wrist. So best wishes to him.
It felt adding insult to injury to give him a red card when it was like, this match is over. He's already walked out. Like you didn't even do that.
Right.
I was kind of hoping that Revs would just sub on a attacking player, not just have no goalie back there.
I really feel like they were thinking that too. Like, can we do this? Can we do? Like, I feel like they were checking the FIFA laws. Like, yo, can we do this? We don't need a goalkeeper. Like, we need to score. Like, I feel like that was the rule. Also, real quick shout out. I know the MLSU teams are going down, and I know a lot of people are happy, but I gotta say, man, playing in Toronto, I'm low-key gonna miss the Toronto at Forward games. Just a little bit. Kind of nostalgic.
It is a vibe that is not going to be matched by any of the new teams coming in. It is going to be a vibe that will be missed.
Right, 100% be missed. But
it was perfect for the work at home situation, especially. You could just have it on your tablet on the side while you're working. That wasn't a nice perk, working from home.
Right, it was. But I just want y'all to know, when they scored and the game was over, all like the fear went out of my heart. I was fine. I was totally fine.
Of course you were.
I was. Because, like, to be honest with you, like, yes, do I want a whole playoff game? Yes, 100% of it. In a perfect world. But after what happened last year and not getting in, I couldn't have that happen 2 years in a row. I couldn't. like we would have had to really start talking about his Richmond curse. Because that would have been our scene. But let's move on to the other matches.
Yo,
your North Carolina FC decided not to play defense. Everybody went on vacation. I don't know why you laughing. Like that was piss poor.
You can only laugh at that situation.
Yo, it was bad.
Definitely. The second goal, literally, the center back. This irritated me to no end, yo. And not even because, like, it just irritated me to no end. So the cross is coming in, and your center back looks at it and is like, you know what? I'm going to step forward and let the person behind me get the ball. Like, son, there's no one in front of you. Why are you stepping up? Like, not even stepping, like, trying to attack it. You literally took a whole step forward. And then by the time the ball passes, he looks back and is like, oh, there's the ball. Like, what?
It looked like he lagged. It looked like he meant to move one way and just completely lagged to the other direction. Like, that is what happened. I don't know where he was going.
That
I
man
think there was
had
a lag.
Computer glitch mid-game.
Look.
That was a FIFA Ultimate Team.
Mid-game.
Peak FIFA Ultimate Team right there.
I was just there for vibes.
Your whole team went to sleep. Your whole team was just all
right.
Bro,
So we didn't have
paid.
We clearly didn't have the best season, right? No one really knew what our identity was. No one really knew what the plan was. We have a youth coach coming in and saying, I want to develop players to make it to the next level. Well, which next level are you talking about? Yes. Basically, it's how conversations went all season.
wait, time out. Hold on. Back up. You mean to tell me this man told y'all I want to develop players for the future? You guys was like, what future? Yes. Please don't tell me how that conversation went.
Like that's basically how they go. Like what?
I mean, they got a player get called up to the Puerto Rican U20 team.
We had 3 players get called up to the national team.
There you go.
Nick Holiday to the U.S., Nelson Flores to El Salvador, and one other player to
Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Like, if that's your plan, it'd be great to know that.
Every time I hear about Puerto Rico, I just think about what's his name, the comedian? It was like you ask black Puerto Ricans, are they black? They're like, no, Papi, no. I'm Hispanic, Papi. My fault.
You're killing me. I don't know. Like, that's been like no one can. How did the host kick himself out? No, never mind.
We move.
I had to yell because I was just gonna keep laughing for like a good 5 minutes, dog.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
But if that was the plan, they should have said that. So now we're going into these games where it's like these games don't matter, right? So why are we still putting Cristo in? You know, what was the point of that?
Left y'all to go play indoor soccer.
And indoor is still too fast for him. Indoor is still too fast for Cristo. He got the bag. That's all he needed.
Telling your kids, like, yeah, y'all, I was a professional athlete in indoor soccer. That's hilarious.
I don't know.
Professional athlete, that's all you gotta say. And I'll be like, okay. That man scored again, which is, I think he scored again like last week.
Either way, it's been shit. And I'm hoping that this offseason they can figure out what the fuck they want to do. Like Ryan could have went in and played. That's how shit we were that game.
I mean, yeah, we saw the center back. Like, I'm pretty sure Ryan wouldn't have done that.
Sorry.
Ryan had full kit. He could have went in for Greenville and probably scored a couple.
I do have questions why you were wearing a full. Why he was wearing a full kit is.
It was Halloween. It was Halloween. He went as a Greenville fan, a Greenville player.
He went as a Greenville substitute because he knew he was going to play that day. Over under how long Ryan would have lasted on that field realistically? Because I know 10 minutes in he would have pulled a hammy.
Come on, Ryan. Ryan plays. Ryan.
I give him a good 45. Like what position is he playing and how hard is he playing?
What, 45?
That's a Ryan question. He's
bugging.
If he's playing goalie, then he's just got to sit back there and vibe.
Look, I know I can last 6 minutes. That's it. I'm good.
I'm giving you 3 in a possible, dog. I'm giving you a foul within those 3 minutes, but I'm giving you a 3 in a possible.
I mean, they didn't play soccer over here, so he could have played 45 minutes.
That's what
defense.
I'm saying. Like,
they didn't play soccer on my side of the field. Okay.
If they're asking him to be a winger, then okay, maybe like 5 minutes and a hammy pull, sure, but.
I swear, dog. I've never. Just going back to North Carolina's defense, yo. Like,
no defense, just vibes. Honestly, they were vibe watching with me. They vibe watching with me.
I was going to say, were there vibes on the field?
Y'all didn't watch this game. Trust me. Don't go back and watch it. But just know this score really could have been 6-0 before the 30th minute.
Yeah.
Most shots Greenville's ever had.
Bullshit, low key. Huh?
That was the most shots I think Greenville's ever had in a match.
Probably so. They were bullshitting half that game.
Total shots 19 for Greenville, 7 for us.
Bro, they got 8 on target.
19. Huh?
Mind you, North Carolina.
Okay, sorry. They had 20 shots. They had 20 shots against Revs 2 a couple weeks ago. So.
Yeah. See, we had a keg, all that jazz.
In that game, in the Revs 2 game, 10.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
They were 50% in both the Revs 2 game and the North Carolina game.
So they had 19 shots, 8 on target for the NCFC game.
That's not half. Wow, math. Okay. Ignore me.
All right. Well, North Carolina definitely finished bottom of the league because of that result and the defense. That was just there to vibe.
There was no
Moving on to happier times. By the way, USL League One. If you tell me games start at 9, do not have games start at 8. Man, yo,
how do you think I felt?
What's going on?
All of a sudden, I see the game started an hour early. I was like, oh, there goes my whole, like, I had an evening plan. I was like, okay, I'm going to feed the kids, and then I'll get out to the stadium. I'll make it. It's 8 o'clock. It's fine. I can feed the kids dinner. I can leave at around, 7, put them to bed, get to the pregame. I'll be good. And then I saw it started at 7. I was like, oh, shit. I got to go now. Like, it's 5 o'clock. I need to get ready. I need to leave.
Yeah.
FOTMob and the website.
I don't know what USL was doing.
That was some bullshit.
Yeah. Everybody was wrong, man. Everybody was wrong. But, Kyle, happy times for you. Forward Madison goes out 2-1 winners over Chattanooga. Talk about it, man, because apparently y'all decided to play some cricket ball and get the man fired.
To the Greenville fans that I know and I talk to and I like, you're welcome.
Send them a beer. Send them a beer.
You know who you are, the ones that I like, the ones that I talk to, the ones I tolerate. You're welcome. The other ones, fuck off. I don't care. But it was weird. Well, first of all, they scored an early goal. I was like, okay, that free kick, perfect free kick. Got a perfect view of it. Top quality goal. I'm very happy about it. Second goal, that should have counted, but whatever. Refs are refs. And it was odd because Forward Madison felt relatively comfortable in the first half. If it seemed like it. It seemed they were more on the front foot, something again that we have not seen in God knows how long. And then we get the second half and they go up 2-0 and we're thinking, oh, this is going to be great. We're going to pop the smoke. We're going to get ready. And then Chattanooga came and somehow the cross hit the post and went into the net. I don't know. If that was not a shot. I'm not convinced he tried doing that. And then you get to the end of the game and they had a shot go wide. That was stressful. And then right at the end, the point blank save by Brino. Ref blows a whistle. Forward Madison wins. Aaron Malloy's flexing on dudes, and then then they were just wanting to fight. Chattanooga was wanting to fight the rest of the match after the match. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice ending on a win.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Whoa. There was fisticuffs?
No, there were no punches were thrown. There was a lot of shoving and shouting.
There was
And some
never any
fingers.
punches thrown.
There was no punches thrown.
What I'm saying, they were slap boxing.
There was definitely shoving. There was some middle fingers flying. Yeah.
For what? What was that fight during the game?
Hey, that's Chattanooga's problem, not my problem.
You know what? Chattanooga deserved it after what they did to us last year. They absolutely deserved it.
Chattanooga was kicking the living shit out of Aaron Malloy, and Aaron Malloy decided at the end of the match to flex on him, and they did not take too kindly to that.
Oh, that's on them then. Chat shit get banged.
Maybe you should have won. If you wanted that second round spot, maybe don't choke the end of the month and win against Forward Madison.
If you don't want him to celebrate in front of you, don't let him score. I don't get it. Win.
Yeah,
it's not my problem. They can't beat Forward Madison.
I'm
just a man with a microphone.
Let's really look at it. My bad. Because since September 11th, they only got 2 wins, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses and 1 draw. Like, you talking about some poor run of form. Like, let's really pull this apart and really look at it from all aspects. What happened to Chattanooga to make them fall apart at the end of the year? Because we were all betting Union Omaha Chattanooga was going to be the 1-2. It just depended on who was going to be the 1 or 2 seed. You know?
They do this every year. They start off okay and they fall apart at the end. They did this in 2019. They did it in 2020. They never finish the season strong. I don't know what it is, but they just don't. Also, at some point, that devil's magic of scoring all those late goals was going to catch up to them. Like, at some point, that well was going to dry up. We may have said it wasn't, but it clearly did.
Who was the last time I think the last time they got a goal past the no, because that was all before the 60th. I was about to say when they played us in that 3-2 win. Well, our 3-2 loss. Nope, that was all before the 60th.
Yeah.
North Texas. It was North Texas, September 9th. September 8th.
Was that the last time they scored?
Yep.
That was their last late. That's their last late winner or late goal to get them points. So at some point, that luck was going to run out. But
yeah,
they have done this the last few years where they start off okay and then they just tail off at the end. I don't know why that is, but this is not a new thing for them.
Yeah, it's just crazy to see because of the fact of, like, we all would have bet, like, you would have bet Richmond would have missed the playoffs. Greenville probably would have been the 5th or 6th seed. Union was going to be 2nd. Chattanooga was going to be 1. Like, we were all fine with that because we all saw that the way it's going. And now to see that, Greenville 2nd, Union's 1, Richmond's in the playoffs, and Chattanooga has fall fat on their face is so weird, you know? Yeah, I would want to see Chattanooga expected goals versus actual goals because I know that disparity is weird. It
probably was very different at the beginning when they were, getting those late goals and everything like that. And it's probably pretty even, like, towards the end of the season, like, if you're looking overall. But so it's going to be Chattanooga versus North Texas. Right, for the playoff spot. What happens in that game? Because they're tied.
I know.
I have a better question. Who fumbled the bag worse? Chattanooga or Revs?
Revs.
Chattanooga.
Revs.
I'm saying Chattanooga because this was a team that was competing for the 1 seed.
So you got to remember, Revs
are a 2 team. Revs were always inconsistent.
They went from legit top of the league to out of the playoffs. There was never a doubt that Chattanooga wasn't going to make the playoffs. It was just where.
Okay, so let me ask you this:
I'm
Who did you have more faith in? Did you have more faith? Did you have more faith in Revs being a 3-4 seed, or did you have more faith in Chattanooga being a 1-2 seed at the start of September?
Oh, Chattanooga.
Exactly. So it's got to be Chattanooga because the way how Chattanooga fell down. Because honestly, to be real with you, it wasn't until the last 2, maybe 3 weeks that Greenville was like, "Oh snap, we got an opportunity to be the 2 seed." All Chattanooga needed to do, really? Let me see. Make sure I'm right about this.
But the thing is,
was more or less get a draw.
They went into October pretty comfortably in second. Could have maybe gotten first. Like they went into October comfortably in second and probably was competing for first. And then they lose to Richmond. They beat North Carolina, but then they lose to Toronto. They draw against Greenville, and then they lose to Forward Madison. And it's not like those are games you would expect them to win. And especially all of those games, there are teams below you on the table. Drawing with Greenville, that's one thing. But every other team was below them on the table. And they only got the win against North Carolina. And even that was that was looking pretty dicey during the first half.
It was. Like a lot of people forget that first half against North Carolina. North Carolina had a chance to score twice. And they just couldn't finish because it's North Carolina. But still,
they're just in poor form. Like even if you go back to September, they've been in relatively poor form.
And in terms of bigger disappointments, I guess you could say Chattanooga, but we never thought they weren't going to make the playoffs. We were surprised by Revs like getting up there, right? Like I think they went as high as the 2 seed at one point.
Something like that.
No, third. They got as high as third.
Third. Okay, fine. They got as high as third. And all they needed was a draw. Or no, just a win. A very easy win.
I will give Revs to this. They had a tougher schedule in October. Other than the two, their only home games were against Forward Madison, and they won both of those. But they went to Toronto twice, and they went to Greenville, and they went to North Texas. So they had a tough schedule at the end.
But I think that drop was more drastic than Chatta's because there was never a doubt.
Yeah, it's definitely a drastic drop, but in terms of fumbling the bag,
I still going to go.
I go with Chatta because you're going from week off 2 seed to now you got to play North Texas.
They were going to have to get through North Texas eventually, right? Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Whether it was in a semi, whether it was in a semi
final, that's the one team you wanted to avoid.
But the thing is, if they win, now they have to go to Greenville. If they win against North Texas, now you have to go to Greenville. And then if you win that, then you're likely playing Omaha on the road. Like, you made this a lot harder
than what it had to be. You went from
it needed to be
having to either play Richmond or Tucson at home and then see Union to now, like, to be real, like really look
honestly,
at it.
right. Imagine playing this weekend.
Chattanooga probably had the hardest path to a trophy. They probably got the hardest path to a trophy right now.
Yeah. Couldn't imagine playing this
weekend. Going through all that.
I couldn't imagine it one bit.
Whatever. Whatever. All right. So, I mean, that's all that. Yeah, fans, look, let us know who had the bigger drop off because right now it's kind of split. Let us know.
I'll just go and
what you guys think.
Piss off 10 people again.
There you go, Kyle. Piss off everybody. Good job.
Piss off everybody and then go be a family man.
Yo, for those who didn't know, Kyle straight up went to be a family man, yo. Like, this man put out some greasy tweets. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, bro, why am I waking up to 60 notifications? I get on there. Bro, there's a whole we got Bug Eaters FC that ain't play soccer and God knows how long coming out of nowhere.
If anything, you're welcome. You're welcome, lower league fans.
They were in our DMs.
We confirmed news for you. We are doing God's work. keeping clubs alive.
Sorry. I woke up, the bug eaters follow us, sending us heart emojis. I'm like, what is this? What is going on?
I went through our mess. I was like, yo, I'm not reading all that. Happy for you.
Yo,
I'm sorry
really
that happened.
Joe Budden video that I tweeted out. I really felt that Joe Budden video.
Well, the thing was, I saw a preview of it before I went to bed, and this was at like 10:30. I was like, okay, it's gonna end, and it just kept going overnight. It's like, go to bed,
like, bro,
y'all
don't
need to
y'all got
sleep.
jobs? The only way that conversation ended because Kyle, you and the other dude was like, "Oh yeah, I got kids. Oh, I got kids too. Okay, maybe we can stop." Like what? Like,
and that was at like 10 a.m. That was at like 10 a.m. the following day.
Kills me, man. I was not ready for that.
We were one terrible subject away from having Great Value Millwall jumping in
to completing the triangle.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised NGS didn't jump in and talk about it because I think they got mentioned. And I was just like, oh, here we fucking go.
Please don't. No. That would have been the day I quit walking 90.
We're like, bro, we ain't no one talking to you, dog.
See, that would have been the end. Not Yogi deciding, oh, I'm going to walk away if Richmond doesn't make the playoffs. No, it was going to be that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, 100%. This show was not, y'all was not going to get this show. Gabe could have told you if Richmond didn't make these playoffs, everything would have been done. I would have been on plugging cords like Steve Harvey. Give me my shit. I'm going home. This is a wrap. Done. Twitter would have been deleted. You would have got the notification. Yogi is no longer part of the group chat. I would have gone ghost. Would have gone ghost.
I'm like, motherfucker, I know where you live. You can't just go ghost.
Nope. Would have gone ghost. Any Darby trophy would have been gone. It probably would have been in the James River by now.
I'm showing up at your school. That's what I'm just going to show up and sit in your class and be like, all right, no, we're doing this.
No, we're not. No, I'm not taking personal responsibility for what the fuck he did.
Oh God.
Disowned him.
And we're supposed to talk about the playoffs, right? We're talking about practice.
Yeah. All right.
Oh God. It would have been over. He wouldn't have been on Twitter. He would have been a family man. Him and the dog would have just been posting pictures on Instagram. All of it. Chattanooga to North Texas.
No, I would have been a monk. I would have been a monk. Oh, what happened to River City 93? Oh, he praying at the high temple now. He don't believe in soccer no more. He think it's corrupt. All right,
Can I Kick It season 2 is literally just, this is an announcement. The show's actually over.
Yeah.
All right, next game we got North Texas 1-1 with Union Omaha. Union Omaha did exactly what we thought they were going to do: is send out the reserves. They played like it for 88 minutes, and then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? Nah, let's make the chaos look even more stupider and go out here and get a penalty against North Texas. If you're North Texas, dog, how hurt are you?
Honestly, like, in the hindsight, like, it might work out better because it's tough because if you win, you have a home playoff game against Tucson and Richmond, one of the two. But now you play Chattanooga. But now you're playing Chattanooga, which is maybe a team that's on worse form than one of Tucson and Richmond. So, like, it could be worse. We could have not made the playoffs, but that was already clinched once Toronto won. So, yeah. Like, this was a match where after North Texas got in, this was the least consequential match of the weekend.
Yeah, this game didn't live up to what I thought it was going to be.
It was not chaotic enough. I thought it would be more chaotic, but J. Mims did the smart thing and not risk too many of his best players.
Didn't Hurst play a full 90?
Yeah.
For what? Why?
And I mean, like, also, like, so
Cardio.
North Texas' last 4 results at home have been result of like crazy finishes because you got them losing on a late finish winner against Richmond. Then you have the Union Omaha game that ended 2-2. Then you got the what was the last one?
The Revs 2.
Yeah, the Revs 2.
You said home, right?
So it's like, yeah, home.
I mean, that Revs 2 game was great.
If North Texas would have won, I mean, North Texas would have bumped up to 4th. Tucson would have been 5. Richmond would have been 6. And that whole playoff scenario would have been stupid because you would have had Richmond that sucks on the road going against Chattanooga that's a horrible form, and you would have had North Texas and FC Tucson that is red card galore.
That would have been great. What?
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I would have skipped your game to watch that one.
I mean, hey, my game would have not happened at 10 o'clock.
Are you sure it's going to happen at 10 o'clock?
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock on Saturday. And, yeah, I just stay up early for that one. But I'm not ready to stay up for that, man. I mean, you did what they need to do. I mean, they got a point. I don't think they can set the point. I mean, they couldn't have set the points record because they lost to y'all. So they virtually had nothing to play for. Does Union Omaha go into the playoffs as the most dangerous team, or do you think the week off affects them in any way?
I don't think the week off hurts them. No, I think if any, that's probably a good thing. Get some rest. Again, with Mims not playing most of his best players, they get enough. Like, I'm sure they're gonna still practice and do everything, just won't play on Saturday. But no, I think getting rest and especially after traveling, it doesn't hurt because they played 3 games in 8 days or something, or 10 days, because they played Forward Madison Wednesday, and then they played Richmond Saturday, and then they played again on Saturday. So getting rest is not a bad thing.
If you're Union Omaha right now, which of the 4 teams do you want to see the most, and which team do you want to see the least?
Oh, the least is definitely Greenville.
Greenville, yeah.
No,
I don't think any team wants. Greenville is definitely the team that would cause. If I was an Omaha fan, I would not want to see Greenville. If you don't have to.
No. I'm not saying Greenville. I'm saying out of the 4 teams this weekend, which team do they want to see? Richmond, Tucson, North Texas, Chattanooga. Who does Union Omaha does not want to see? Who do they? Well, they can't see Chattanooga. So out of the 3,
North Texas.
Who do they not want to see?
What do you
North
mean?
Texas.
Like,
who you say?
Are you meaning like what do you mean? Like, you mean like next? Who do they not want to see next?
Yeah, who do they not want to see next? They can't see Chattanooga because of seeding. Right. So it will be either North Texas, Tucson, or Richmond.
They don't want to see North Texas, right?
Yeah, okay.
I would lean towards North Texas.
Yeah. They're not. No.
Not to say because here's the thing. Tucson and Richmond play the style that could give Omaha problems, but North Texas plays. North Texas, you don't know A, if they're going to bring MLS players, and B, they just want to go out and hurt you.
So I found this out. They can't bring MLS players because of the roster freeze. You can only do emergency
because it's a 2019.
Well,
yeah,
if they're on your roster already, they can come in.
No, so they can't bring in MLS players that are not part of the Revs. So they have to either have played a certain amount of minutes for the team to qualify for the playoff roster for MLS2 teams.
I mean, hold on.
But I think if you're Union, I think you don't want to see Tucson. I think Tucson gives them the most problems. Just because I think the pitch at Union Omaha of how narrow it is, Union Omaha can benefit from that. I get what you're saying.
Tucson
about
is a weird team.
I think that's what I'm saying. I think Tucson can give them the problems. I think North Texas is probably going to be more physical, and Richmond is just going to be stubborn. But I don't think Richmond has enough to overcome Union Omaha unless it's from a set piece or Union Omaha just going blank on a moment.
So, which is worse for them.
Richmond. But the thing with Richmond is Richmond can just sit back and absorb as much pressure as they want and then hit him on a counter, and then Terzaki can get the goal. Like, that is the blueprint on beating Omaha. Sit, hope for the best, counter. And Tucson and Richmond do that pretty damn well.
Texas is not a sit back team.
But that's the thing. Texas doesn't do that, but Texas then decides, instead of sitting back, we're just going to kick your guys all night long.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Texas is just going to get physical with them.
Yeah.
Tucson is just going to just throw reckless and make it an F1 race. It just be like, I mean, that's what FC Tucson did to Richmond. They made it an F1 race.
But Tucson defensively is not that great.
Go.
That's the thing. Tucson defensively isn't that great, though. And when you're going against Hearst and Conway,
Tucson's gonna want to play the you score 2, we score 3, but you can't do that. You can't. But
Omaha's not the team where Omaha's not the team where you go, you score 2, we score 3. They're not. You can't go 2013-14 Liverpool against Omaha.
It's gonna be interesting.
I'm still sticking with North Texas because they are just physical enough that it will be annoying. They will be physical enough that
North Texas is probably the best blend of Tucson and Richmond.
They're gonna
they're stubborn.
They're gonna try and go.
They have enough offensive firepower.
Yeah, and they're gonna try and goad Omaha players into getting cards and picking up fouls, and they're going to goad them and try and get on the ref for it. They're going to throw all the dark arts.
For what? If you're not going to keep up, though.
Can Omaha mentally keep it there? Possibly, but North Texas and Omaha, they never seem. It's always a chippy match as well. Yeah. And you're going to add the playoffs? I'm sticking with North Texas.
I mean, no, for real. Like, the calmest team in the playoffs right now is Greenville. Because Greenville is like, on a high. Like, they're calm. The pressure is on Union because that's all we've heard from Union. It's like, yo, they got the home playoff game they wanted. They got the best players in the league they wanted. You know, you just got to overcome these 1-2 hurdles. You got to overcome one hurdle. In 90 minutes, though, all that your dreams come down to possibly facing Greenville in the title game that you've been waiting for a whole year to possibly have this game. It's a lot. It's a lot. So next weekend is going to be the weekend, man. Next week is going to be weekend. But let's hurry up. Let's talk about this last game. 4-2 FC Tucson versus Richmond. Man, it was. So I will say this. FC Tucson, I'll give them all the credit in the world. Like, they went out there and they did what they needed to do. They were the only team this weekend outside of Greenville that did what they need, and Toronto. They did what they needed to do to make sure they end up playoffs. Like, I really feel like their coach was just like, yo, we're not doing defense tonight. Like, if Richmond score, we score. And that's what it was. Like, so on this week on Rivers Team 93, me and Shanair were talking about like how, like I said, like it was an F1 race that they really, like Richmond was trying to make it into a roller derby, like how we made games against Union, Greenville, Chattanooga. Like, we want to get physical. We want to get tight. We want to draw up, make the game boring, and have stoppages. Make it a CONCACAF game. FC Tucson won't have it. Charlie Dennis won't have it. Shaq Adams won't have it. And the thing about it was like 3, really, all of their goals were not supposed to happen. 2 of them happened outside of the box. I swear to God. 1, Akira just got to be 6 foot. He saves both of them. 2, they literally caught this man when he was like, so Akira does this thing where he's squaring up for a shot. And you know how most goalkeepers get on the balls of their feet to like jump? Akira gets flat-footed, but he gets flat-footed to have like a sturdier base. And like when he does that, it's like Tucson automatically knew. Oh, we're just gonna shoot it long. And I'm just like, son of dog, I would do so much emotion. We went up from 1-0 to 1-1 to 2-1 to 2-2. In 2-2, I was like, all right, just vibe it out, dog. Like, just vibe it out. And then 3-2, and I'm like, and when it hit 3-2, I was like, bro, we're not scoring the third goal. We're not doing this. Then, next thing I know, Shaq Adams, all of a sudden, who, first of all, I got to fight Shaq Adams because I picked his little black butt to be in the golden boot race. And all of a sudden, he decides, I'm score a goal. Bro. I swear, when it hit 4-2, I think I was already 6 beers in. I was emotionally dead.
Yo.
Everything was that much in.
I mean, I was chilling. I had a keg.
They kept buying buckets, and I was just like,
I mean, I was at a bar celebrating a win. It was good times.
Oh, I forgot you went to Gus. Gus don't even know Gus is open, so.
Gus be like, "Oh, we open? Oh, here's a beer." What? Yeah, but like, yeah.
So for the hold on. So for the Henny Derby, Yogi said, "Meet me at Gus's." I said, "Bet."
Oh yeah.
So we pull up to Gus's. Doors are locked. The owner comes out the side, and we're like, "Hey, aren't you guys supposed to be open?" He goes, "We are." So he comes around and opens the front doors, and it's like, "Do you guys want a beer? We should have a server soon." I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, man. Yeah. Mind you, this is the main soccer bar in Richmond.
Yeah.
It is what it is, dog. It is what it is. You gonna get service, or you might not. Fuck it.
Considering you won't even there yet, even though you said meet you there for the Man United game. Oh. Yeah. But yeah. Sucks. Yeah, Penny Lane. Penny Lane is another one, but Penny Lane parking sucks. But yeah, man. So the thing that I'm most irritated about with Richmond is the fact that we did lose the home playoff game, but I'm not disappointed as how much I normally would be because that's the fight I saw in the players. They was actually giving a damn. It's not like the North Carolina game where the wheels were just spinning and these guys couldn't do anything right. Like, it was actually an effort, actually saw them trying. So we'll see. That's all I got to say. What should we move on to now, guys? Well, we talked Chatta versus North Texas, but there is one more game for the weekend.
Richmond and Tucson?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Real quick, before we go talk about these playoff games, your golden boot winner is Emiliano Terzaghi with 18 goals. Your assist winner for the year is a tie. Did he give it to Boyce or Dennis?
I don't know.
I thought it was Ricky Ruiz.
It might have been.
I thought it was him.
Yeah, it is Ricky Ruiz.
I was like, someone made a big ass graphic for him, but that would have been awkward if he wasn't actually the assist winner.
Because I'm looking at FootMob, and FootMob they don't even have Ricky Ruiz in.
Oh no, they don't. Their stats are off. For some reason, their stats are terrible.
All right. Well, yeah, and they haven't announced what team of the year yet, have they?
No.
Okay. So yeah. So y'all, let's go ahead. Let's talk about these playoff games because they're about to be really, really good. Which one do you want to start off with first? The 3-6 match or the 4-5?
We started talking about the 3-6, so we might as well finish it.
All right. So, real quick, what are you expecting from this game to happen? And who is the winner when it's all said and done?
I'm expecting a very slow build-up game, honestly. Chattanooga is struggling. North Texas is kind of hit and miss as well. I still think North Texas wins, but I don't think you really see them come into the game until the second half, and then that's when it's just going to be like fucking chaos.
Kyle, what about you, my friend?
I can see it being I can see it being a 2-1. And why I think it's going to be a North Texas takes a 2-0 lead. Chattanooga gets a goal pretty early in the second half and just attacks. North Texas holds on for dear life and just gets by.
That was very specific.
I feel like this is going to be a chaotic first half. It's going to be a chaotic first half and then just hope and pray second half.
Oh, so we went opposite. I think they both are just kind of being like, and then they're like, oh, wait, zoom, and take off on it.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So we've had 9 iterations of this game. This year alone, they are so even to the point where it's 2 draws, 1 win. I mean, Chattanooga has pretty much won the season series, but it's been even. And if you've seen these games, they've been very, very even. North Texas is pissed that Chattanooga's been finding a way how to win this game late against them. This is also Chattanooga's first playoff game in Chattanooga. Jimmy Obleda's first playoff game. I think this game goes to extra time. 1-1. I think North Texas scores 1:15.
That's very specific. I want both of y'all to know that these are very specific.
I think it happens, but so let me ask y'all guys this. And look, before I say this, we are not advocating the firing of any coach ever, but we got to ask these questions. If you Chattanooga and you lose this playoff game, do they move on from Obleda, or do they be like, all right, you get another year?
No, and if they do, I'm calling Connor Cloy and saying you better interview this man right now.
They'd be dumb to let him go.
If they do that, I'm going to Connor Cloy's office and say, you need to call this man right now. Get going. Come on. Chop, chop. Let's go.
Like, he's in our DMs.
Okay,
you want
good.
his number?
Good to know
You
we're all
know?
on the same page.
I will call him right now if that happens. I will call him on air.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. All right. Last game, 10 o'clock. So all of us have North Texas, which is the 6th seed, going to Union Omaha, right? Because that was eventually happened. So by, in my head, 9:45, we will all know the winner of FC Tucson versus Richmond is going to Greenville. What do you guys think happened in this game? Let's start with you, Kyle. What do you think happened in this game?
I honestly don't have a clue. This is the one where I'm like, this is going to start slow. Because I think the thing with Richmond last week was they were fine. They were in the playoffs. They were not in second gear. It's like, we're in the playoffs. It's good. We're good. I mean, yes, it'd be nice to have a home playoff game, but fuck it. We're in the playoffs. And Tucson was we need to win to make the play. Like, it was so different extremes that I think that's what caused the more, I don't want to say lax defensive showing from Richmond, but definitely more of an attacking intent from Tucson. This one I think is going to be the opposite, where both teams are going to be hesitant to want to go full out attack and leave themselves vulnerable. So I'm going to say it is a 1-0 Richmond win in extra time.
Ooh.
Like, this game is going to be no one wants to lose it, so no one's going to try and win it.
I mean, so you got to remember, this is their second time playing in 2 weeks. So what are you taking
and
from
FC Tucson just got their first win over us.
What are you taking from this game? What are you taking from the last game? Well, no, because it's different. It's a different scenario. That was a game where kickers knew they were winning. They were going to the playoffs. They were vibe watching. They were good. I think this is the game where both teams start off hot. Kyle and I are going to go opposite all night. They're both going to go in hot. Richmond is pissed from last week because even though it was a vibe watching game, like they felt hard done. Tucson is feeling pretty good because they just beat you 4-2. So now they're like, yeah, let's go do it again. Oh, they're both coming out flying. It does go to extra time. I agree with that. But I do think the kickers pull this one out. It's not a high-scoring game. It's probably like 2-1. Nothing crazy. But I do have the kickers going into that one with like a little bit more intense, fiery passion. And this is not just me being a homer because my guy is on this podcast. I tell you right now, if your team was going to lose 3-0.
In this kind of game, you need the best player to step up, and Richmond has the best player.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what the difference maker is going to be.
And you need to get Akira some lifts. That's all I got for you.
You good?
Get your face. Get your face.
Bro.
Why did I not get a screenshot of that?
Oh. How you feel? What you feeling over there? How you feeling over there? Go ahead. Hit the blunt.
Oh. Stressed. All right. Let's do it. Richmond FC Tucson, the key about this game is who can better control the midfield. Richmond,
don't have one of those.
We all know who Richmond lineup is going to be. We know what the back four is going to be. We know what the midfield three is going to be. We know what the front three. I think the key move, if Richmond can win this game, is if Matt Boldup is part of that midfield three. It's not out on the wing, and it's Ethan Bryan instead. I think what Richmond has to do is more of compact the space around the 18-yard box, but they have to also step up to cut out fires. If Richmond can do that, and they can play a defensive sturdy game, and if they can go along to Bolaños, if they can bring on Olex around the 60, 65th minute, if they can make Terzaghi seem dangerous. When I say keep Terzaghi dangerous is there's been moments in games, for instance, the Union Omaha game, where Terzaghi is on the ball, but he's not being effective. The further he drops back, the less effective he is in the game. So if Richmond can keep him involved up front, Richmond has a chance. For FC Tucson, I think this game comes down to the wings. If Charlie Dennis, if Shaq Adams, and there's one more guy now I'm forgetting right now. He's killing me.
Rodriguez?
I can't remember his name. Yes, Rodriguez. If they can take Calvo, if they can take Chris Cole 1v1 situation, because Richmond fullback struggle 1v1. If they can put them in 1v1 situations and win those battles consistently, they don't have to be trying to score, but they just have to win it. FC Tucson is going to win this game. So that's what this game really comes down to. If Richmond can control the midfield, they can control the wings. If FC Tucson can control the wings, they're going to win the midfield. And that's what it really comes down to. And I don't know what to go with the scoreline for this game because that Saturday game is an anomaly in this game normally. It's not a game that normally happens. And does FC Tucson let the moment get to them? I mean, you went from possibly being out of the playoffs at 60 to hosting a home playoff game. And if you're Richmond, where are you at mentally? You went from having a home playoff game. I mean, from being out of the playoffs to having a home playoff game to being sixth and not fifth. And you have to stay out, like Richmond stayed out there this entire week. They didn't come back to Richmond and they're flying, but they stayed there this entire week. So I wonder how I know these guys. I know they are really motivated because also they're also hearing all this from FC Tucson because it's a home playoff game. So you're seeing their promotion. You're probably running into some of the players. You're running into the players' family, the fans. They're saying stuff.
Fans.
What can you expect? Because Richmond on the road is not the same Richmond that they are at home. Because I guarantee you, if Richmond last two games, if one of them are at home, I'm having a home playoff game this weekend. But they're on the road. And Richmond finished in near the bottom of the table on the road. So what do I go with? I don't know.
Matt was talking greasy about having a home playoff game before the Henny Derby, and now this is the consequences of that. Just throwing that out there.
He's my coach. He get fired.
No. There he is. I'm calling Connor Cloy and telling you.
That's on y'all. Maybe y'all need to find stable head coaches in League One.
Where are you finding it at? Like, what?
We got our head coach from League One, so look somewhere. Buy out somebody, coach. Go to Revs and buy out their head coach.
Actually, though.
You want mine? You can have mine.
I don't know what yours is doing.
No one want that bullshit.
We just went through. I don't know what.
I'm out here selling out bullshit. No one want that.
But Clint P wouldn't be a bad option.
I give you $350 for him.
No. See, first of all, before I get my pick, your math is all wrong. First, you want 6 figures from this each. Now you want $350 for your head coach. Figure out your goddamn transfer policy.
Put down the FIFA. All right. Turn off.
It was $3.50.
Trash. All right. Fuck it. I'm riding down it with my boys.
There you
Richmond, 2-2. 2-0. We win it in whatever time, and we go to Greenville.
I will say that your playoffs end in Greenville. But that's for the next pod.
Look, if we get to Greenville, we might be doing this show from Greenville. You might be doing this show from Greenville.
Look, if the Courage beat Washington and they go to Lorraine, I'm gonna be in. I won't be here for the next one. Okay, just throwing that out there.
I'm not coming.
Oh, I'd always make time for this show, even though I will be in Cincinnati next week. Look, it's USA Mexico. So I'm gonna be live on location.
Getting drunk.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's also Jamaica versus El Salvador. Because if we lose that game, I can kiss the World Cup goodbye. We not being the USA.
Well, in general, because that's like what? Because you got what 4 points.
Yes, we do. We have 4 fucking points, Kyle.
Yeah.
Right,
lose these next games, and yeah, that's a wrap.
Matches played 6.
All right, y'all. Anything else for y'all before we wrap up?
First of all, you have 5 points.
It's not enough to be in World Cup right now. Okay, World Cup of buzz.
I feel like there was something I was going to mention. I know. I just
want you to know, if we beat America, y'all motherfuckers gonna have to deport me. I'm greasy. Go hate me more. Woo-hoo!
So it'll just be a normal day in Union Home on Twitter.
Yeah. Isn't that at Jamaica? Are you not going to go to Jamaica and watch your boys?
No, they overturned it. They overturned it.
Yeah, they are.
Get the fuck out of here.
They literally put the story out that they weren't allowing fans, and then like an hour later putting out a story saying we're allowing 5,000 fully vaccinated fans.
Shit. Damn, I probably wouldn't be able to get into the same anyway. But hey, Jamaicans, make it as hard as possible for Christian Pulisic. Just him specifically.
He's not even in the squad.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, is he? He's been injured. Why the fuck did you call him in?
He's Captain America. They can't do this without him. He's literally
made of paper mache. You really think
they're going to play Mexico or USA without him?
Yes, because he can't play. He's injured.
Vibes. White soccer Twitter don't know that. They see Christian Pulisic. Put him out there. Put that boy out there. Let him play. We don't need them coons out there. Put the white boy out there.
You know what?
All that grit.
Donald Trump treat him. Look at my boy. Look at my boy scoring. All right, you know what? Y'all have a blessed night.
You know what?
All right, anything else for you guys before we end this?
No, we have said it. You have said enough.
I am just trying not to piss off another fan base tonight, okay?
Too late.
Get her
I
done.
haven't done shit. I haven't done shit. I haven't tweeted shit. I'm going to get off and go and be a family man again. And I'm not going to piss off any fan bases.
Kyle, you don't
intentionally.
give a fuck about you being a family man?
Stop.
I didn't say shit this time. Goddamn.
Chip just wants you to name your next kid after him. That's it.
I'm not doing that shit because I'm not having any more kids. And if anything, I want the season series, so they should be doing shit for me.
And no, that's not how this works. You don't get to tell Union Omaha what to do with Union Omaha content. I got you, Chip. This is Union Omaha. They are the overlords of League One. They run everything.
All Forward Madison
They
do is exist, and that is their content.
Their
All Forward
owner
Madison has
is
to do
on
is
Twitter
exist.
talking hot shit bang. The owner took the time out of his day, his busy schedule of running minor league teams to tweet at us. How dare you speak about that man? The man put his corn, blood, Nebraska tears into this while owning a minor league baseball team in Richmond.
And somehow this is going to come back to me.